How we doing, everybody? Welcome back to the Sean Atwood channel. I'm Ron Swanson. We're just waiting on Paula. She shouldn't be too long. My hair is all over the place. And before we get started today, hope everyone's having a awesome Monday. It is really odd weather here today. It's like muggy. It's raining in some parts, dry in others, but we power through. Now, I don't know if anybody's seen the ghost hunt that we done, the paranormal investigation that we done at Greyfriars Kirk over the weekend. I'm going to be diving in to the findings of that and seeing what we captured, because it can be quite difficult at the time to sort of hear all of the responses and things. So I'm looking forward to getting stuck into that. And what else? Before we get stuck in today, it seems like every time I wake up, the world's getting a little bit more crazy. How we doing, Linda? How we doing, Phil? Because it's one thing when the Epstein list disappears, right? It's quite another when world leaders start lying to us all. And the rewriting of history that seems to be taking place right now is rather shocking. But we've now, I believe, got a movement of free Ghislaine Maxwell starting. So, yeah. We're going to start off in the UK today and jump in with the Epping protest that took place over the weekend concerning these illegal migrant hotels. And, you know, somebody was talking the other day about how we shouldn't be using this word illegal. Well, it kind of highlights the way these individuals got to the country in the first place. So we're going to watch this little video, and then we're going to jump into the news report on this, because
don't worry.
So obviously the UK patience is wearing very, very thin. Very, very thin with our government, with the facilities that are housing these individuals. And for a country that for so long spoke about its inability to help its own homeless, to help its veterans, all of this, to be handing out so many government resources to individuals that have got here through illegal means, and who many of them are having fingers pointed at them for working here illegally, hanging around schools. It's crazy. And like I say, we're at boiling point now with all of this. 6 arrested as police condemn mindless thuggery during latest migrant hotel demonstration. Now, just give me a minute, because... oh, no, we should be okay. 6 people. Actually, hang on. Let me bring this over here. Yeah, that's a bit better. No, this one over here. There we go. Okay, 6 people have been arrested and dozens of protesters gathered outside an Essex hotel used to hide asylum seekers. Now, asylum seekers is another term that isn't quite accurate. I mean, it is, but it isn't. More than 100 demonstrators assembled outside the Bell Hotel in Epping on Sunday evening. Some set off flares in blue and red, while others held signs which read, "Deport foreign criminals. We go home when they go back, and defend our girls." Bottles and smoke flares were then later thrown towards police van blocking the entrance to the hotel on the high road. Essex police said 4 people were arrested on suspicion of violent disorder in connection with violence, which broke out during the earlier protests on Thursday evening, which saw 8 police officers injured. I thought I said it was on Sunday. Oh, earlier protests. Okay. A 5th person was arrested. Thanks after being. A 5th person was arrested. Thanks. After being tracked down by police helicopter following a damage to one of the force's unmarked vehicles. Police had to escort an elderly woman who was counter-protesting out of the area surrounding the Bell Hotel as a group of mass protesters followed her and shouted abuse. Officers said missiles were thrown at a number of people who tried to reach her. Now, look, I don't think anyone's, saying that throwing things at little old ladies is a good idea. But things are going to just continue to ramp up in the UK. We've had riots. We've had the horrific attack that took place at the dance school last year. It's crazy. Music Man, what's exaggerated? Let me know what you mean by what's exaggerated, mate. Because we're all having a good day. It's not my birthday. Who has started this again? It is not Ron's birthday. But how you doing, Kit Kats? I mean, this is the state of the situation. So, there we go. Angry mob launched racist attack on staff starting shift at migrant hotel. Authorities are investigating a racially motivated attack against a security staff at a migrant hall after a video of the bloodied worker has went viral. Again, same place, Bell Hotel. And, we've seen this happen. Hang on. The police and that description, the old lady wasn't. Oh, yeah, the way it's been reported on is blown out of proportion. Yeah, I mean, I can completely agree with you there. They're going to look for anything, man. Like that old lady. I imagine if a crisp packet blew past her, okay, like they would have tackled her like President Trump and escorted her out of there. It's weaponized Western empathy and guilt to foster a level of globalism. Let's just move. Nah, we ain't moving, man. None of us should be having to move anywhere. Now, there was it was a video. There was a video going around of, here we go. So tell me how this makes sense, right? Tell me how this makes sense when a 12-year-old girl, right, is sent home, okay, from school because it's diversity day. It's all about cultures and things like this. And she chose to wear a Union Jack dress representing her culture. And she gets sent home from school and told that this is not appropriate thing to wear. How though? Like, how can a little girl celebrating her culture at school on on a day where they're all celebrating the cultures of this country? Can this be a thing? It just blows my mind. I'd send her home too. Okay. It's not Ron's birthday, but thank you. Okay, here's some more reports from Epping. Neighbours of an Epping migrant hotel shouted, "Go home," to protesters hurling rocks and flares at police. One local shouted out of his window of the mob, "Some of us have work in the morning," during another night of unrest in Essex Town on Sunday. I mean, it seems like they're trying to make a mockery out of this. It seems like by reporting on the man who's on the night shift, it's just trying to almost downplay how people are feeling about this. If there's people out protesting, you know that that is just a small group of individuals that feel the same, but a lot of people don't like to mobilize in the streets. I mean, that's a lot of people. I mean, that looks like more than 100 people to me. It was described as dozens of people protesting, and I mean that looks like a chunky number of folk. But you've just got, when it comes down to the fact that people are concerned about the safety of their children. British people before boat people. Yep. Sure. I can see the logic in that. Make Epping safe again. Sure. Yep. Down with that too. Not far right. I'm worried about my kids. Yep. True. Britain is not a country. Great Britain's made up of a bunch of countries. Great Britain or the United Kingdom. I'm just reading your guys' chat. More than 500, yeah. Well, that's exactly it, Scott. Right? That's the question, right? Because I'm sure you, Scott, feel the same as I do, right? See if in this country, like, the health system was totally nailed. All the schools were open. Like, the roads didn't have massive holes in them. We had a police force that people could trust and get behind. Like, our veterans are taken care of. We're actually doing something proactive about homelessness and like rehabilitating people back into a normal life. See if all that's happening. We'll take some people over from the boats. You know what I'm saying? Like, no problem. No problem. Once they've filled out some paperwork. You know what I'm saying? But it just seems crazy to me, a government that would take already depleting resources from its nation, who's screaming out for a multitude of things, you know, being able to get a doctor's appointment, being able to get a dentist appointment, all of these things. And I don't understand how, by accessing our nation illegally, individuals are then given mobile phones, they're given clothes, they're taken to hotels, they're put up there on the taxpayers, off the back of the taxpayer. And a lot of people are starting to speak out, do their own investigation, and we're going to watch a little bit of the British Stand's reporting of this, because it was another creator. Here we go. So this is Eddie Alexander's video.
But left a credit there for those
We're
of
seeing
you guys that are on X. Go give this guy a little follow. As I said, 2.4K. These citizen journalists can't do their job without the support. As I said, I don't think this guy has YouTube, but certainly has X. Posts quite a lot of sort of citizen journalism from protests and, of course, these migrant hotels. So do go give him a check him out. Give him a follow on X for those of you that aren't already on X. And let's have a watch of this footage.
He just walked right into one of these hotels.
Everyone screen record. Everyone screen record.
Ran available all day.
This is inside. The room's absolutely full. They've got a mini gym. Mini gym.
Time for the people, okay?
Hello.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm just having a look what's going on, love. That's fine.
Just having a look
I'm just
at
having a
what's
look
going
what's
on.
going on.
What do you mean what's going on?
So maximum occupancy,
Excuse
132.
Excuse me.
That's fine. Independent
No.
journalist,
Excuse
unfortunately.
me. Who are you? What do you mean independent journalist?
Yeah, independent journalist.
Excuse me.
Independent
What are you
journalist.
doing here?
I'm just having a
Do
look.
you know what's mad about this, right? We've got a guy whose taxes contribute to this country, right, in a hotel which is fully being paid for by taxpayers' money, but he has no right to be there. Make it make sense.
Now.
That's fine.
So leave right now.
That's fine, no
I
problem.
say leave right now in that way.
Numerous
Yes, you need to leave right now the hotel. How are you coming in?
People.
Security.
Look at this.
I say.
Look at this. You've got all the food over there. Look,
Security, get him out.
look at this. This is insane. Look
Get
at
him
this.
out.
Look, do you see this? You see this? You see
Yes,
this?
out.
Oh, look at this. No smoking. They've even got all the different. You're right there, mate. You're right there, mate.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, how long have you been in this hotel for? Look at that. Brand new phones as well.
Ron, we should all agree to start. Could you imagine, right? Could you imagine, like, I don't even know how that would work, because it's just theft, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, I mean, self-employed people pay their taxes, right? Because they have to physically divvy up the money and pay it. But if you're just an average person, man, you are just robbed. You were just robbed. See, the majority of the people being employed, I think that's where it all comes into a bit of an issue. But we're only going to start seeing more of this. I'll let this
And
place
new
go.
phones as well. Look at that. That is insane. Look at this, mate. That's insane. Look, let's have a look through.
I don't know what the legalities are of actually just filming people through their windows, so I'm not going to show any of that. But this guy sees, piles of clothes, laptops, and when you start seeing the same packaging, so if you go to 4 different rooms and they've all got the same HP laptop box, there's probably a good chance that that's just an added perk, shall we say, of seeking asylum. Seeking refugee status. And here's the craziest thing, right? So I heard a story of these Moroccans. I think it was on DGI or DGE Media. I can't remember the name of the guy. And hang on a second. Yeah. So he was basically talking about the way the system works here is if you can get over here, you know that if you're coming across on a boat and you're calling yourself a refugee, asylum seeker, whatever, refugee status, they all know that's going to take about a year for that to happen, right? And they need to be put up in a hotel, given a mobile phone, and then they're given a wad of cash, right? They're given about $3,000. Like, they then treat this as a holiday, and I'm quoting here from the interview. And upon being told that they do not have refugee status and they have to go home, they're given another £3,000 to help them on their way. So, wait, hang on a second. My lighter is not playing ball. God damn it. Never mind. Tell me how that is not just a massive funded holiday system. And all of these hotels, it's full of young military-aged fighting men. And I just don't get how oh man, like this is see, the crazy thing is we're only seeing all this now because of how bad it's getting, because of how many people are having their local cultures eradicated, local ways of life terminated, because of a government that is quite frankly treasonous beyond belief. Our culture, right? Eradicated, stripped away, being called racists and far left and whatever. Yeah. See, we've got a real problem with the police here, Maria, right? Like, we've got 60 and 70-year-olds being arrested for social media posts. We've got mothers being harassed in the early hours of the morning because of closed conversations in private WhatsApp groups. Make that make sense, right? Like, it's one thing if you're like, oh, I'm going to commit an act of, horribleness with like things that explode or pew-pews or stuff like that. That's you talking about criminal activity, right? That's a potential terror moment. But when you're just having a bit of a moan about staff at your kid's school, how is this now a reason for you to get arrested? It certainly is. Now, there was stuff popping up in the papers about potential Russian threats, potential Iranian threats. Also, what's going on with the Iranians? Was there not like a war like a minute ago? I don't even believe what I get told in the papers. I mean, we all heard Trump talking about how it was over. We might want to do our own research. But this invasion and these false pretenses of, oh, now it's Syria. Nice. Okay. These false invasion narratives, okay, to bolster the UK army, to apparently offer the biggest pay increase in 20 years. How about, right, see, instead of like, in fact, no, get the pay raise in there, right? But see if like you sign up to the army and you go and fight for the British, for Britain, and then like, oh, I don't know, you get injured. Now, I don't know if you know, right? A lot of people getting injured in wars, okay? A lot of people not coming back from wars. But in this country, it seems to be null and void for the government to have to look after you when you come back from war. How is that a thing? Like, how, to me, the fact that we don't look after veterans to the point where if you go and fight for your country and are injured to the point where your whole life's changed, you're missing a leg, you're missing an arm, whatever, right? You can't close your eyes because you hear the noises. How is that up to you to look after yourself? It doesn't make any sense. Because I'll tell you this right now. Hang on a minute. That might be my gas inspector. Give me a second, everybody. Right, everybody, you're going to have to give me a couple of minutes. Hopefully Paula will turn up. I just need to help the gas guy find the boiler. Yeah, it's free. It's a fucking thing. Yeah, it's just out the front, brother. Yeah, everything's fine, mate. Is it too much stuff in the cupboard? That's fine, mate. Do you want to just send me out another date and we'll get it sorted? All right, everybody, just give me 2 minutes. All right, that's us sorted. Yeah, Paula should be here. I don't know what's going on with Paula. Let me just check. Oh, is my sound on? Hello? Yes, it is. Paula. All right. I'm imagining she's not been seen since 1:30, which is an hour ago. So I imagine we're dealing with internet situation with Paula. That's usually what happens. Now, what was I ranting about? Okay, next one. Six arrested as anti-migrant protesters. See, again, that's a very misleading piece of terminology. Nobody's anti-migrants. Nobody is anti people coming to this country. People are annoyed that people are sneaking into this country on boats. And like, I watched a couple of things as to what's going on in France right now. And if I was France, I would be sending them all over here on boats as well. Because it is mad over there. 6 arrested in anti-migrant protesters clashed with police outside a San Francisco hotel for another day after Ethiopian man 38 tries to kiss 14-year-old girl. I don't think this has any sound for some reason. Okay.
Save our kids! Save our kids! Save our kids! Save our kids!
Save our kids from the individuals that our government is allowing into this country, undocumented, unregistered, on anything. And now we're having to beg the government to keep our children safe. 6 people have been arrested after anti-migrant protesters gathered outside the same migrant hotel in Essex, where demonstrations on Thursday descended into violent chaos. Furious demonstrations flocked to the Bell Hotel in Epping, which has been operating on and off as a migrant hotel for the last 5 years, on Sunday after an asylum seeker was accused of committing 3 assaults. The man accused of trying to kiss a 14-year-old girl. What's going on here? There we go. Hadish Gerber Slassi Kabatu, 38, from Ethiopia, had arrived in the UK by a small boat 8 days prior to the alleged assault. 8 days, baby. 8 days. 8 days. Oh, how mental is the Coldplay cheater, by the way? Like, are we surprised? No. He's been since he has since denied 3 charges of SA against 2 girls aged 14 and 16, inciting a 14-year-old to engage in SA and harassment without violence. 3 arrests were made in connection with Thursday's protests, which began peacefully before flaring into violence, with police vans seen driving into protesters who appeared to be obstructing the path. But Essex police said a further 6 arrests were made on Sunday night for violent disorder after peaceful protests turned into mindless thuggery. Chief Superintendent Simon Anslow said, disappointingly, we have seen yet another protest which has begun peacefully and to escalate into mindless thuggery after individuals again hurting one of our officers and damaging police vehicles. I mean, he looks like he's cut himself shaving. Like, I'm not going to lie. The force announced before the. Also, he looks about freaking 19. The force announced, but before its protest, it would order demonstrators to remove face coverings when requested. What? Oh man, we are cooked. We are cooked. That's wild. That looks a bit like a Wish.com version of like Danny G. Not Danny G. Darren G. Is it Darren G? Yeah, Wish.com Darren G right there. The asylum seeker accused of SA Hadish Gerba Sasli Kabutu above had arrived in the queue in a small boat 8 days prior and alleged assault. Since he has since denied the charges. Sweet, man. We are seriously cooked. He said anyone who refused to move a face mask when asked to do so was likely to be arrested and could be in prison if Do you know, it's mad. It's mad. Like, to think that refusing to remove a face covering is now warrant for arrest and imprisonment. That is wild. Yeah. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but let's not forget, like the Tories ain't the one either, mate. The Tories done a terrible job too. Absolutely drained this country after whatever his name was, who used to run Labour back in the second Iraq invasion era. Mm-hmm. Officers said the right to peaceful protest is protected by law and allows for everyone its freedom of expression, but this must be done respectfully, and if there is a risk to public order, it must be done respectfully. I don't think it should be done respectfully. I don't think there's a law that says That's Paula gone back in touch. Apparently, she just messaged me saying it's at 2:00, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's 20 to 3. So I imagine she's got the times mixed up. But Tony Blair, yeah, Tony Blair. Yeah, I think. Do you know what's crazy? Right, I'm not even somebody that ever considered himself as British. Right, I've always considered myself Scottish, and I'm not somebody that considers himself a Christian. But I'm all right with my country that I live in being one built on Christian values. You know, I never cared about any of that until they moved a bunch of people in who were starting to destroy it and pull it all apart. Like they've taken away Easter from some kids in schools. Like I don't get it. So clearly and sadly, nobody is here to look out for our kids anymore. Nobody is here to look out for you and me, the British citizen. It's about some. Oh, yes. It's about some It's about some infiltration of this country. That's the best way to put it. Because I've always said the thought of just a militarized force trying to roll up on our beach shores, it just ain't going to happen. You know, we've got too many things to just blow things up with in the water. If it's a militarized invasion, shall we say? But when it comes to just sneaking a bunch of people over, hang on a minute, I'm having microphone issues. Like, when it comes to the slow, methodical 5 or 6 years of mass importation of these military-aged men who are posing a threat to women and children, as you can see from the multiple reports. Not all of them, just to be clear, but more of them that I would imagine that would be doing it if, for example, let's say they would all went through the proper channels to apply to get to this country. And I really don't know how this is going to end. You know, Obama had the right move. I don't think any president in modern history has deported more people than Obama. Not even Donald Trump can come close to Obama numbers of deportation. But we're going to talk about Trump soon. Now, I claim to follow ancient Hindu and Buddhist practices. Nice. Well, all the power to you, my G. That's what's happening in Aussie schools too. Oh, I tell you what, see if Australia had the same firearms laws as America, it would be a very different place. It'd be a very different place. Aye, who is that a picture of? That's me. Just with a few less pounds, shall we say, without so much sadness snacking. All right, without feeling a little low and trying to find happiness at the bottom of a tube of Pringles. You know what I'm saying? Oh wow, they do just drive into people. Oh wow, okay. I thought they were just paraphrasing, but no, that man definitely gets driven into. Brilliant. That's great, mate. That's brilliant. Just drive into the people that pay your wages. That's brilliant, mate. Yeah. Yeah. And I need to just hide the top line of this because it's the, oh God, stop it, Daily Mail. Just stop it. Right. So, yeah, listen. Okay. Burgers are amazing. So, yeah. Yeah. I never actually had any burgers. Apparently McDonald's were closed at 4:00 in the morning. So it never happened. It was sad times. It was sad times. I seem to have a knack for annoying people. Well, luckily for me, it's not your human right to not be annoyed by me. So I wholeheartedly apologize if I have annoyed you. Further sides of plays of 2 men and women. I'm not far right. I'm worried about my kids. See, it's the same thing over and over again. It's worried parents, individuals concerned about their culture being eradicated, and no one's listening. No one is listening. This is just going to go on and on and on until this boils over. And then who's going to be to blame for it? I'm not happy with Trump. Yeah, we're getting on to Trump next. Don't worry. Do not worry. Do not worry. This is kind of how I would feel if I was an American citizen who voted for Trump. Because I don't know about you, and I know that I'm in a totally another country, right? But was there not quite a lot of chat about the Epstein client list? I'm pretty sure I can remember members of the Trump staff waving a folder around not so long ago, and Ministry of Defense, was it the Department of Defense? I think it's Department of Defense, quoted as saying that they were sat on her desk waiting for review. It doesn't make any sense. So I personally believe this is a massive cover-up fueled by lies from the Trump, government. I mean, what other way can we put this? Department of Justice, DOJ, thank you. Ministry of Magic. Yeah. Ron, it is immigration flawed the UK and worry children. Yeah, we're all kind of getting a bit stressed about it. Israel is our greatest ally, case closed. Okay. If the USA and the UK hadn't got involved in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria, we wouldn't have the problem as we see it now. That is absolute nonsense, right? The problem isn't going to other countries and shelling the living hell out of them and, accidentally blowing up some schools in the name of oil. It's when France allows a whole bunch of lunatics on boats to just frickin' pop their way over here. That's the problem. Britain's been going around the world massacring people for for centuries. Centuries, mate. Centuries. What's America done? Nothing. In recent history, they've done some stuff. But who cares? Who cares, right? Who actually cares? In the grand scheme of things, the British Empire, oh, spicy meatballs, mate. Spicy, spicy meatballs. Well, if these people are coming from anywhere, it's because they're being allowed to come here. That's the only way I can put it. You know? We used to have a level of intelligence about us that we weren't scared as a nation to send people packing just because their religion's different from ours. You know, when you've got men that are being trained to say to the UK officers when they get over here that they're gay and they can't go back to their country because they'll be unalived. We're going to see, like I say, the boiling point continue in the UK. But anyway, President Trump, I supported you. Release the Epstein list or resign. Makes sense to me. President Trump wants Americans to stop talking. The President Trump wants Americans to stop talking about Jeffrey Epstein. What? But judging from recent polling and responses from USA Today readers, many people aren't ready to do that. Trump and other top administrative officials have played up the case. Ron, the US has no program or path to citizenship. 10 years or 12K isn't practical. Does the UK and Scotland has no program or path to citizenship? I think all of that is predetermined before you come over to this country. Like, if you've come here illegally, then why are you here? Oh, Lady D's in here spitting some facts, or spitting some theories that could hopefully be facts. Are you talking if somebody's been here illegally for 10 years, they've got a family, they've been paying taxes, they've been working a job, they can stay, no problem. No problem. Anyone that's integrated into society and has the paperwork to prove it, sure, no problem. Stick around. No problemo. No problemo. Okay. Epstein list is coming. Trump is using it to weed out the snakes in his midst. He's not perfect, but this is part. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love for you to be right. But sadly, President Trump wants Americans to stop talking about Jeffrey Epstein. It's just mad. I hope you're right, Lady D. Like, I would love to see a corner be turned in this, and for Trump to just drop the list, be like, you're fired, bosh, and weed it all out. But I just don't see it happening. When has anything like that ever happened? You know? Oh, do you know what as well, Terry, right? It doesn't really matter who we're talking about, if it's the Tories or if it's Labour or whatever. It's been a two-party system in this country that only ever feels like the same parties in play, and it just feels like whatever party's in play is just going to make it worse and worse for us. Like, why are we struggling more now than we were 30 years ago? I don't get it. You know? It was all made up by Clinton. Okay. Sure, Trump. No problem. So the Clintons would just make up an entire story about how they are at the center of some dodgy conspiracy, and then stick themselves on the client list, stick themselves on the flight logs, put a painting of her husband up in Epstein's house of him just laying about in a blue dress. It totally makes sense that they would make all that up, right? It would totally make sense. In fact, the best way to make up a lie about a global PDF cabal is to just put yourself right at the center of it. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? If Trump wanted Americans to stop talking about Epstein, then this all wouldn't be happening. The art of war, my friend. Just my humble opinion. No, I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. But I really hope everyone is ready to denounce Trump when that doesn't happen. Because if you don't, you're an enabler. Understand? And there'll be a line in the sand, right, with people that are totally cool with the cabal and individuals covering it up and getting your vote. And then there'll be the rest of us on the other side. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, well, we'll see. Trust me, I'll be keeping tabs on the bigger picture, Lady D. So you'll have plenty of time to. You'll have plenty of occasions to give us an update on how you're feeling. But this is a joke. This is a joke with Trump. You know, what was he said? He literally said to Hillary Clinton during one of the debates that she should be in jail. So, but what does it mean though? That's another thing, Lady D. This is another thing. So, what does it all mean? Does it mean that Trump was on the list? Does it mean that Elon was right about that? Because that would make sense as to why you would be hiding the list. Give me any other reason as to why he's not releasing all the information, shall we say? Because I can't make sense of it. Hang on a minute. Let me just bring out our artificial intelligence assistant here. Okay. And we'll just ask Sheila here what she thinks. Hang on. All right. So bear with me here. Trump is protecting the Mossad. All right. Yep. I could maybe get behind that. Sun Curs. Well, the evidence that I'm talking about is just the stuff that Donald Trump's entire political party was saying on the run up to his election. And then subsequently his team running around with that folder, right? I mean, I didn't imagine that folder, did I? Wait a second. Yeah, there we go. It literally has Trump's name on it. Like that says Donald J. Trump. The Epstein files, phase 1. I mean, look at this guy. Look how many pockets this guy has. Oh man, what, this guy just gives me off like proper Scotland vibes. Like he looks like he has just come from a wedding. Do you know what I mean? Texas dude. Oh, hang on a second. Texas dude. Oh, 24K. That was poetically put. Yeah, I agree. The real concern I have these days is with the psycho PDF files being in control of the second largest nuclear arsenal in the world. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing of nightmares right there. They all have a binder, right? All of these are very prominent influences in the United States, and they are infiltrated over the situation. Hang on a second. And they are all infuriated, nailed it, over the situation and have pulled back a lot of support from our president. Yes, everyone should definitely be pulling back support from the enabler and the potential PDF file madman that allegedly Donald Trump could turn out to be. Because Elon Musk was quite happy to make the statement that Donald Trump was on the list, and that is why he's not releasing the list. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I tend to believe Elon Musk over Donald Trump 9 times out of 10. And I'm in no way, shape, or form saying that the president of the United States of America is a dirty, lying, dirty, deceitful, horrible manipulator. I'm just saying he promised us one thing and gave us nothing. But I swear, listen, Georgie, Lady D, all you diehard fans who are clutching at hope, I cannot wait to eat my words. I will have a Ron is eating humble pie party. Okay. He's not on the list for kids, women possibly. Of course, because I know if I was somebody who was just into women, I would definitely go to the convicted PDF file who has a reputation for being a PDF file. I would totally want to be associated with that. Yeah, come on now. Wishful thinking mental cases. So one of our lovely community members has a very interesting list that they're going to send over to me. And when Epstein was first arrested and his black book was released on Reddit, I called a few of the numbers from that. Nobody was happy to talk to me. Do you know what I'm saying? They were not happy. But look, yeah, I hope it is 4D chess. I hope it's 12D chess. You know, I hope he's keeping them for himself and he's secretly going to blackmail all the other countries. I don't know. That's what I would do. Do you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, hey, so how about you stop being such a little rascal? Or we release some stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? But then if I say they don't exist and then I start releasing the names, why would I believe that it was real? And what's even more terrifying is all of the people who are saying that Trump is playing 4D chess, if there is no Epstein list and he did lie about it, and then suddenly he makes one up, a whole bunch of people are going to believe that. It's quite an interesting position that he's put himself in. But I will say this, Kash Patel, the whole of the FBI, Joe Rogan, these 12-hour-long video files that they're putting out. What is going on? It's not a very complex issue at all, mate. It's not a very complex issue at all. What you have is generations and generations and decades of politicians and elites turning blind eyes and allowing sanctions to be and allowing are allowing the sanctioning of this systematic abuse of young individuals, women and men all around the world. That is what the culture is. You understand? You're not part of that culture, because you're not a narcissistic PDF file psychopath politician. But that is the culture. There's no 4D chess here. There's nothing. There's just the boys protecting the boys. You know what I'm saying? The boys! But in this particular version of the boys are men and women in positions of power that like to severely torture and abuse individuals. You understand? There's no 4D chess. Don't get me wrong, though. I hope you're right. I hope it is 4D chess. I hope it is super complicated. I hope I am too stupid to see it. And listen, I'll stick a percentage of my poker chips on that happening, because the odds of that happening are mad, right? Like, I'm not going to lie. It ain't going to happen. But you know, I guess Isaac Cappy just fell off that bridge by himself, right? You know, I guess Virginia Giuffre just unalived herself, you know? Nothing suspicious here. Nothing suspicious at all. I'm assuming the man formerly known as Prince that doesn't have sweat glands or whatever. It's a crazy. It's a crazy. But yeah, Isaac Cappy, that whole scenario was wild. Wild. Okay, 3D chess. Too funny. And if you ever remember the chess that they played in Star Trek, that was crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't say anybody's brain dead, because this is the thing. Like, don't start arguing amongst yourselves in here like a bunch of idiots. Like, nobody knows what is going on. It's kind of obvious what's happening, but at the same time, like, this is American politics, man. Like, anything could happen, right? Like, Trump could unzip from the back and Kamala Harris could jump out of him and be like, "Gotcha!" Like, anything could be happening here. But yeah, don't turn on each other. It's almost like that is kind of what they want to happen. So don't disagree over whether or not Trump has done something wrong or right now. Just agree that the cabal, this global hidden government, this a sick, twisted group of individuals in power that seem to want to thrive off of the suffering of, you know exactly who from. So don't be falling out with each other. Don't be calling each other names, okay? Because I think we're all kind of hoping, everybody in this side chat is hoping that Trump's going to just turn around one day and be like, ah, bosh, here's all the names, shabango. You know? But what I can't get behind is when I see stuff starting to propagate like this. Like, free Ghislaine Maxwell. What? Sure. Who else can we free? What other maniacs can we free from prison? Why don't we let Delmas Colvin out as well? Let's just throw his name in as well. I think he unalived about 70 ladies. 70 ladies of the evening. Let's just let him out too. YOLO. You know what I'm saying? Let's get all the most dangerous criminals that are locked up, give them all a drafting number and just draft their freedom. Be brilliant. Be great. Super awesome. And then for every mass like unaliver or serial human transporter or anything like that, we should lock up somebody from America who's over the age of 55 for something they've posted on social media. You know? Come on. But yeah, nobody in this side chat wants this to be free Diddy, right? Oh, yes, Sharon. Yes. Yes. Hell yeah. Free Weinstein. Brilliant. Yep. Free Ghislaine, free Diddy, free Weinstein. The trifecta of upstanding humanity. Do you know, it would be so, see if we had like 5 or 6 million people watching right now, we could like ironically release the free Ghislaine, free Diddy and merchandise. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's too small an audience. People would just think we were crazy people. Do you know what I'm saying? There's not enough people there to suck up the sarcasm fully. Yeah, no, I say keep Diddy. I like that too. Keep Diddy merch. I'm not a diehard fan. I'm going on my downloads of my cards. Yeah, see? Yeah, hey. Yeah, it's all good, Lady D. It's all good. I'm not even, honestly, Ron is in too much. Ron's in like the pit of Sarlacc right now. I swear to God, it is not good. But free Ghislaine Maxwell. Come on. Jeffrey Epstein's former lawyer called for Ghislaine Maxwell to be freed from jail and compelled to testify at Congress in a bid to finally dispel the conspiracy theories about a client list plaguing the White House once and for all. I tell you this right now, okay? Okay. How are we all meant to handle reality when we've got an unalived Virginia? We have Donald Trump that seems to have been hit with that. You remember that thing from Men in Black where they were like, and your memory goes. He's been hit with that, right? He's been hit with that. And we've now got free Ghislaine Maxwell. How are we doing, Emma? Yes, Tracy. We're definitely going to try and keep them all locked up. 100%. Closer and closer to end times. Or things as we know it right now, for sure. Yeah, if you guys want to come and join our Discord, feel free to do so. I'll get you guys a link. Missy just reminded me that I need to share the link. So, I don't know what's happened to Paula. I promise this is a real thing that's happening. Oh, I've got a bunch of messages from my mods. Oh no. 7 from Bailey, 4 from Mrs. Mac, 1 from Lisa, and 6 from KLG. Oh no. Oh no. Look at my fat ass dog. Randy, that is a chunky boy. That is a chunky boy. God, I love it, Randy. You really do. What was I looking for? Server invite. Right, okay. Right. Sorry, that just took me by surprise a little bit there. Everything might go back to normal soon. That is the most meme-worthy thing that we have said all day today. It's like when you're trying to talk yourself down off the ledge and you're like, it might be okay soon, maybe. Maybe. Too good. Too good. Everything might go back to normal soon. Why are the links different? Because whenever one person makes a link, it becomes a unique link. I'm also sharing the link for the main server, the main public server. We also have a second server for doing call-ins with. But since Sean's upped his game with his call-ins, I'm going to have to up my game with my call-ins now. So we will be going back to the live WhatsApp, and there will be a number you guys can be interacting with. That is tonight, I do believe, Bobby. Hang on a second. 1 second. 10 o'clock, Trump Epstein's Inferno call-in show at 10 o'clock tonight. In fact, I will even get you a link. I will even get you a link, my G. Oh, wait, you can already see it. There we go. So I will post a link for you guys here. Don't miss that one. That, I don't know what is going on there with that logo. What is going on here, Shane? What is going on here? God, I love it. But yeah, make sure you guys come and check that out. Can I also mention that we're like 18K away from 1 million subscribers? It's like this much. So we all thought COVID. Right. Right. I actually, for a while, did think that was going to be it. I'm not going to lie. Like, there was a moment during the Jeremy times where I was like, oh, wow, this is actually it. This is actually it. We were okay. We did it, guys. We did it. It's just the annual cycle of the flu. It's a bit of a rascal one of the flu. But yeah, this whole free Ghislaine, there is no client list. Jeffrey definitely wasn't taken out to the game. It's just mad. Just to trigger a whole bunch of people in the side chat, we'll just pop this one up here. I just want to say, this image looks so sketchy. Like, why is he so tiny? Why is he so massive? Yeah, I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. Liberal Lisa from Oklahoma. This one though, sure. Yeah, I don't know about this image. I mean, it could be a real image. But I mean, I don't know about that one. Okay. On Instagram DMs. All right, well, we'll get to them. I don't know. But oh, here's the image. Yeah, this looks so dodgy. Like, what? Why has someone tweeted this? Let's fact check the image. Right, hang on, give me a second. Yeah, it's been debunked as a completely fake image. I don't know why somebody would put that on their tweets, because that's a real image. But this is shenanigans. Shenanigans. Nice. Yeah, go. Sean's been killing it right now. Ron's sadly the one that needs to sort out some stuff. Attorney General Pam Bondi and Donald are facing backlash over the handling of the Jeffrey Epstein files. I mean, that's a bit. I mean, mishandling seems. I mean, like, if I turn around, right, and like make up a story that then, I don't know, ends your marriage, Is that just a mishandling of information? Or is that a blatant lie? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Ron's. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. I'll take that. Ron needs a little boost right now. So dropping your headphones. You guys are on fire today. Can I just point that out? You guys are on fire today. Oh, Jeff, old Jeffenstein. So if Ghislaine Maxwell gets out of prison, right, and all of this has happened in the same year as the one individual who broke the lid off the whole case, their untimely departure from life. What's next? What the hell is next? Oh, Lady D's on the fence about Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi, was she not the lady that said that she had the thing on her desk? Could be wrong. Right, hang on. Ron's just wrestling with this lighter again. Come on. All right, never mind. Yeah, you guys, if you guys want to call on the show, you can do. Yeah, hang on a minute. Oh, freaking hell, Missy's right there. Hang on a sec. How you doing, Missy? Are you there, Missy?
Yeah, I've been like, good.
What's happening?
I've been waiting and hoping I could chime in so I could fill in some of the gaps on this Trump, Bondi, Cash Patel thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've been really close.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Okay, so initially, we all know about them at that open cabinet meeting. Are we still talking about this guy? Okay, and then we have James O'Keefe, who already blew the lid on Pam Bondi the day before, secretly saying hundreds and thousands of videos, right? Then she goes on Fox News and says the exact same thing, right?
Yep.
So everything blows up. Now, the photo of the people holding the binders, those are all influencers. Those are all YouTubers and podcasters. So they feel very disgraced, very upset. It was no new information. They're pulling the backing of Donald Trump. Every single one of them has so many followers. Like, they blow a lot of people out of the water. It's nothing but the same exact information that got released before. So then Cash Patel goes on Tucker Carlson, Tucker Carlson says,
Why didn't any of these influencers speak out about their disgust about what was in the folders prior to the denial of the list?
Okay, so they were all ushered in. None of them met with the president, Pam Bondi, anybody. They were all ushered into the side room, given this folder, and then ushered out a side door. And they all found it very odd the way that it was handled. And there was nothing but press there, and everybody, show us the information, show us the list. That's what the press is screaming. So they all lift up the binders. They haven't even looked at them yet. Then they get to their car or their home. They open it up, and it's the same information we've already received.
That is clever. So they've huckled them in. They've huckled them into a room, handed them the folders, huckled them out into the public. And basically, we're seeing them holding these folders in this photograph here. And they've maybe only had these in their hand for 10, 20 seconds before they were pushed out the door. Interesting.
Yep, exactly. So they're all like really up in arms, like, hey, give us the information. This isn't new information.
So, yeah, but when did they start talking about the fact that it wasn't new information? Right away?
Almost right. Right after they all got the information and paged through it. And it's the same information, redacted names, redacted information, redacted redacted flight manifestos. It's all the same thing. So some people scanned it, immediately made it access. You can compare it and blah, blah, blah. And it was all the same information that we've already seen. So nothing new.
Damn. Okay. Keep telling us more on this. I'm in the room. I'm just going to the other side of the room. I've got my headphones on, but I'll just keep talking. Keep tell me more.
All right. So then all of these influencers, they're the big mega movement, which Baron Trump had set up. Hey, in order to reach this audience, you need to get to the podcasters. And these are all huge mega influencers. So then they start coming out and just mandatory saying Pam Bondi needs to be fired because she just lied to all the American people. She's dividing the mega movement, make America great again. If anybody doesn't know what that means, I would. And Kash Patel gets Dan Bongino, who is also an influencer, who is now part of the FBI or CIA. He made a lot of money, and he, being an influencer, he comes out of that job to be in the Trump administration.
Yeah.
So he is the first one calling for Pam Bondi's resignation. Kash Patel, in the meantime, goes on Tucker Carlson, and Tucker Carlson asks him, so if there's no list and there are no clients and there are no victims, why was Jeffrey Epstein arrested in the first place? And Kash Patel's just sitting there going, yep. And he goes, and then why is Ghislaine Maxwell in prison right now? And Kash Patel said, it's a victimless crime and they are essentially political prisoners. Those words out of his mouth. You can go and look it up. Tucker Carlson.
What's
flat
a
out.
What's a victimless crime? International human transportation.
No, that Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein have been charged with a victimless crime.
Yeah, but those crimes were like transporting humans.
You and I know this, and so does a lot of the people in America who follow this, right? And so we're just over the roof in arms, like, come on, no, this is not what I voted for. I voted for transparency and not. So.
Oh yeah,
and
you got conned.
Yeah, and so essentially, though, when Kash Patel said that, this is the big point. When Kash Patel goes on a national podcast like Tucker Carlson, who millions of followers, and says that Ghislaine Maxwell is a political prisoner of a victimless crime, that automatically makes her innocent. So why is she in jail? So she's stepping up and says, I want to address Congress.
Wow.
Okay, so right now she's on the table for addressing Congress to be released and having her sentence completely overturned without the appeal that is pending for October.
I don't get what is happening.
Yeah, it's pretty big. So there's been so many names. We all know about Mossad, and we all know about the Prime Minister of Israel, and there are a lot of really big dignitary names and people who are very important throughout the world that have been part of the Jeffrey Epstein thing, as we all speculate, right? I'm speculating.
Yep.
And so there is the other flip side of the nickel that has been brought out by several of these influencers as well, that Trump is trying to keep all the fires, all the irons in the fire balanced and not create World War III, because there are people who are part of this client list that have access to nuclear weapons.
Yeah. I mean,
so what is the true story under assumption and speculation? How deep does it go?
Yeah.
I mean, we can go back to the one world order, like many years ago when you're talking about, what is it, the Bergenstein group?
Bilderberg.
Bilderberg Group. Thank you.
Welcome.
Way back when you were talking about that, like I didn't even know anything about them until you talked about them.
Yeah.
So I mean, it could be that group. It could be that high. And when I remember when they were showing photos of the Clintons and the Obamas going and the Bushes going. It's like if you hold any public office, you're not supposed to be part of any other world group other than U.S. sanctioned.
It's every major male world leader and Fortune 500 CEO. You know, it's all of them. It's mad, and this was exposed years and years ago by Alex Jones. It's crazy.
Do you know that Alex Jones was sitting next to Tucker Carlson at January 6th, and he saw something coming, and all of a sudden he stood up and running across the field to get the hell out of there so he wasn't part of the mob? He's like got the gift of insight. I love watching Alex Jones, even though he's like full of it half the time, you know. But he's a great character to watch, and you do get bits and pieces. But if you can look up Kash Patel, Tucker Carlson, Ghislaine Maxwell, political prisoner, victimless crime, you can see the clip for yourself. And that's to bring it back round circle, because I don't want to get off on tangents. That potentially will get her released from prison.
Oh, hang on a second. That's Julia calling. I just need to get...
Or I'll find it and send it in the side chat. How's that sound? Right on here, if you can access.
No, if you can send it into Discord, and then I should be able to post it for you. Yeah,
okay,
Julia, cool. Julia is still in jail. We've got massive Julia updates coming. Honestly, it's crazy what is going on. But there's stuff happening out with her case now that we can finally talk about. But yeah, Kash Patel. Where have we put this? Over here. Oh, no, that was last week. Okay. So, have you put that? Hang on a second. Okay. Ron is just trying to remember how the internet works. Yeah, if you can find that link for me and send me it on Discord, that would be very much appreciated, Misty. Well, you see, there's a show, right? And then there's also happy birthday, Dave. Big shout out to Dave. Happy birthday. Yeah, if Ghislaine gets out of jail before Julia, I am done with this planet. Okay? Like, done with this planet. 100%. Happy birthday, Dave. Misty, you know your mic's off as well, just so you know.
Yes, I did that so that because I was listening to clips, so I can send you the right one.
Oh, okay, yeah, no problem.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. You do your thing. If you guys can like and subscribe, and please help me share this out, that'd be great.
Well, the whole video is the whole interview is in my history, which I can grab the whole interview, which isn't a problem. Do you want me to do that? And then you just get to the clip. It's pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, have you got a timestamp?
I'll see if I can find the timestamp. So I'm gonna mute my mic if that's cool.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course. Right. So, yeah, I want justice for Julia. I want answers for Julia. Okay. That's what I want. Justice is another thing completely. I want answers for her. When you're going up against the family she's going up against, I can't imagine justice is going to be an easy thing to get. Just started watching. I was working 2 minutes up the road from the hotel in Epping. All the locals have stories of the men watching children at the school. 13-year-old who was essayed in the high street. Soph, anybody from Epping that would like to come on my show and give their story, please, 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 can you give them this email? Can you give them this email address, but can you tell them to put this as a subject matter? So if they put Epping story in the email subject matter, anybody that wants to come and talk about what is actually going on, please use this email address. And yeah, that would be broad daylight as well, Perth and phone thefts. Do you think Coldplay would reveal the answer? Oh, God. That whole case. Like, having an affair on your wife and taking the person who you're having an affair with to Coldplay to then subsequently be busted at the concert. And to make things worse, the person you're having the affair with is also someone you work with. So you've lost your wife and your job. Damn. Like, what a terrible day. Oh, no, 100%. 100% it should be a lesson to anybody, but in the grand scheme of how bad a day you can have, that is a whopper. That is a... Because how that day started for that guy, at no point was he thinking by the end of the day, I'm going to have lost everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm going to take my side chick to this concert. Everything's going to be good. No, it's not, mate. It's not going to be good. Okay? It's not going to be good. And this going to cost you. But hey, listen, that's what happens. That's what happens. Don't be cheating on people. Don't be doing it. Yep, I imagine. Do you know what would be even worse, KLG, if he hadn't even got to that stage yet? If this was like early doors in the relationship, it wasn't really a big deal to her. She had no intentions of taking it any further, blah, blah, blah. Oh, man, the psychology behind that whole day is just fascinating to me. Apparently, that's all acceptable about elites in Hollywood. There's a lot of things acceptable to elites in Hollywood, sadly. But free Ghislaine Mac, a victimless crime. Like, I'm sitting here questioning my own memories here, right? Because Virginia Dufresne, Ghislaine Maxwell bringing in these women, all the rest of it. How is this a victimless crime? Like, because are they going to argue that if these were consenting adults, that the laws that are statutory for federal crimes with transportation and transporting people do not apply to Ghislaine Maxwell because everyone had a nice time on the island and there was no victims? Is that what we're about to hear? Is that
I hope so.
Holy
I'm looking for it.
Jesus Christ, Missy. Oh, man.
Sorry.
Oh, man, that was a good one. You got me. You really got me there.
Did I get you?
Oh, you got me so
Do you
good.
need to go to get some hearing aids now?
No, I need to just take a minute. But yeah, sorry, Missy. What were you saying there?
I said I'm trying to find it. I watch a lot of YouTube, and so I'm just going through my history.
Yeah, no problem. I'm trying to remember whether or not Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell really were, global PDF human traffickers, human transporters at this point. I'm pretty sure that's what the whole case was. And now,
Well,
just nothing.
we know that they are. There's been so much proof, the submarine tunnels. How about Hunter Biden buying that portion of the island that connects to Jeffrey Epstein's island? I mean, that goes way back, Who was there for just legitimate fundraisers? We'll never have the answers. And who was there actually for...
Well,
it's all speculative.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? Jeffrey Epstein was already a convicted PDF file, right? Like he had already been charged with crimes against, I think it was a 13-year-old girl. Now, who's having a fundraiser with this guy?
Well, and right now they're actually there are a lot of podcasters that are following the money. They're starting to follow the money. And I do get the sense, I can't say for sure, that there are former Doge apprentice workers that are assisting with following the money trail. Because as you said earlier in the show, and other people have mentioned in the side chat, that I trust Elon Musk right now more than I trust the president for the truth and transparency. I think he's on it because he keeps calling President Trump out on X with no filter.
Yeah.
So he has not let up on that. So I don't think necessarily it's Trump as a PDF file. I think that he is more just not releasing the information, which he promised to do. The money is a lot of money. And as we all know, Elon Musk is very on the spectrum and he's very tunnel visioned. But the one threat that Trump has over him, now when Trump went on the news and he said, I don't know, maybe we'll deport Elon. Okay. Now, Elon really wants to go to Mars and he wants to habitat Mars. But the one thing Mars does not have is an atmosphere. So he has been drilling underneath the United States, and there are tunnels that you can drive your Teslas from city to city all over the United States. So what is that? That's like his experimental project for how to colonize Mars.
100%.
Underground tunnels and underground cities, and all these rich people building their houses underground to connect to these underground tunnels. So that is a huge threat for him for he's got a lot of money into it.
Yeah.
But also too, I also question, where's Elon Musk money come from? Because he doesn't sell enough Teslas to be the richest man in the world.
I mean, he did invent PayPal and then sell PayPal, and then he has the
and Venmo
and
Affirm.
He does have the Boring Company, which is like one of the most badass tunnel drilling companies in the world. It's crazy.
But
it's crazy.
I'm not questioning him. I think he's legit, but I would like to see his money trail.
He doesn't have any money. Elon Musk doesn't have any money. His wealth is based off of what he owns. So when he launched Tesla, he gets paid in shares or something like this. Or something like that. Anyway, there's the whole story of Elon and how basically he doesn't have much money. Personally, his businesses do.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It is an interesting one. But I at this point, I do trust Elon more than Trump, and I don't really get how we're all meant to just eat all this up with a spoon and move on from the biggest case in my lifetime concerning elites, this, human transportation, all of this stuff. The Epstein case was humongous. And I mean, Ghislaine's been in prison for a long time.
Well, here's the thing. I looked at my history, And I've gone to Tucker Carlson's channel here on my phone, and this video is gone.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise
So that
me.
even makes it all the more interesting.
Yeah.
It is not there. His interview with Kash Patel immediately following Pam Bondi and Dan Bongino threatening to resign, it's gone. So I probably would have to go to the Tucker Carlson network, which you have to subscribe to in order to view his videos. Somebody else has it, I'm sure. I
Yeah.
can find it
It'll be out there.
if they still have it. It's like
Uh,
finding the Cappy videos right now. They're few and far between, and you never get the whole story.
I think I've got them all on a hard drive.
Yeah, unless you've downloaded them. If you uploaded them, they'll be taken down again. I mean, I've kind of had to chase the wormhole to keep some of them.
Also, right? Obviously, I can't tell you who the person is, but I know one of his like former roommates, who was like roommates with him almost right up till that time, I do believe. I need to reach out to them and see if they're ready to have a chat. No. Paula has ditched me for Andy POV. What do you mean? What is going on with this, Paula? I've just messaged Paula. I wonder if she thinks it's tomorrow or something. I don't understand. Can Trump deport Elon? I mean, Trump can probably do whatever he likes, but I don't know if someone like Elon.
Well, that precedent has been set when back when Hoover deported Ethel Rosenberg. So there is a precedence for a U.S. citizen to be sent for anti-American, anti-patriotic. There is no law since then, so that is the law that sets the precedence in the United States, that a U.S. citizen can be deported if they have and since 9/11, we have the Patriot Act. So it also kind of is tucked in there real secretly, that if you don't act like you support the troops, support America, support the war, not the troops. I'm going to take the troops part back. But if you don't support the war, the 20-year war, then you are not a patriot.
Yeah, you see, I'm trying to get my head round where this is all leading to. Paula says she's coming.
I really can't believe I've even looked it up on Google, and all the videos are gone. There's 4 videos. Kash Patel says Ghislaine Maxwell victimless crime. I haven't gone so far as to Boolean search or archive search, but there's literally 4 videos. Otherwise, just AI talks about a bunch of that it's a conspiracy theory, the whole Jeffrey case. Ghislaine Maxwell currently serving 20 years.
Yeah.
She's appealing. We already know that. She was found guilty of ST.
1.4 billion wire fraud. Oh yeah, that's enough to bury anything. There she is. How are we doing?
I am so deeply sorry because I got the time mixed up again. You guys not do the time change and I forgot about it and I didn't see it. I was like, oh no, I'm good. So I went to Andy's, Andy POV, because I thought it was an hour late. And oh my God, I'm so sorry, guys.
That's
I apologize. So what are we on about?
Well, we've talked a little bit about the state of affairs with the protests in the UK over migrants. And now we're literally just talking about the hypocrisy of the frickin' free Ghislaine Maxwell statements that seem to be popping up all over the place. So we've
Well,
had
you gotta ask yourself though. This
right.
is very much self brought upon, because if there is no list, if there were no clients, if there was
Right.
no unwilling traveling of children to anybody, then why is Ghislaine in jail?
Well, that's it. But it's awfully convenient that the one witness in the case has suddenly unalived herself in Australia,
Yeah.
and now the list is
Oh my
no
God.
longer.
I
Hey
can't
guys,
believe you were so right about that.
hey, don't worry, guys. Don't worry. All of the women who were of legal age traveled to the island through their own consent. No one was traumatized, so it's a victimless crime. And
But that's I mean, where, you know, what's the interesting part is, where are the other victims? Because there were other women.
right,
And why isn't their testimony? Why aren't they being called forward? Why aren't they speaking out? Like, why isn't the mainstream media calling these women and say, identifying these people that were with them on that plane? I don't get it.
Well, because when they got their settlements, they signed an NDA from that point forward because they sued in
Misty.
civil. They sued civilly.
Yeah, but no, wait a minute. But now in the United States, DNAs cannot be used to protect criminal activities. See, now that law has been passed.
Yeah, but that
So they
doesn't
can
apply.
say
That
that you
doesn't
can
apply.
hide behind a NDA to say, oh, that
That's true.
law is
That's true.
there. So they can come and say, you know what, that's civil, that's fine. But an NDA cannot. I mean, Virginia Roberts did it.
Yeah, I think it's probably got more to do with the fact they've all received phone calls and been asked if they'd like to end up like Virginia,
Yeah,
or just keep their
that's
mouth shut.
exactly where I was going to go. I'd be
Yeah.
hiding out too. And I even had the conversation about Virginia, that she was living off the grid and everything, but she had a cell phone. And
Yeah.
what gave her away? She was
Yeah.
posting photos. Photos contain metadata.
Yep.
Easy to find somebody through the metadata in a photo. So who's looking for her? Who would like her
Every single
to
person
not
on
be
the
able to speak? A lot of people.
yeah. Also, as well, Paula meant NDA, not DNA. Just in case
Sorry.
that's right. Just in case anyone was confused on that, DNA can very much be used in criminal prosecution, whereas you cannot stand behind an NDA if it's a major crime or anything like that. So, not that I would imagine any of that applies to the elites or the politicians or any of them who seem to just make up their own rules every step of the way. So I mean, Paula, what's your take on where we're at now with the Trump administration, with this complete denial of the list's existence? I feel like people that have voted for Trump should be pressing Trump to stand down. I think this is an absolute it's making a mockery of all of the Americans that genuinely thought this was going to be the change.
Can I show you something that's really fun? Not funny,
Sure.
but it's very creative. My son sent it to me yesterday.
Sure.
I'm sharing with you right now.
That is fine.
Are you showing this? I'm going to show you the next one.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's got his angel at his back, all right.
And I have this theory. I may be wrong, but I have this theory. I believe that Pam Bondi was saying all the things that she was saying very vocally and very publicly because she knew that a cover up was coming. And she wanted to at least put it out there. Who's that lady at the bottom? I don't know her.
That's Soph. She's just sent me an email for a case we were talking about earlier.
Who is she? Who is she?
She's just one of the ladies in the side chat.
Oh, she's very cute. Yeah. So so I have a feeling, like maybe Trump said, you go crazy and say whatever you want to say. I'm gonna say that. You know what? I know this is gonna sound crazy, guys, but you remember that chat? That when they were doing that press conference and people were asking about Epstein, right? And Trump said, "Oh, you're still in that creepy guy." If you look at the tone of voice of Donald Trump, He's very meek. He doesn't sound very forceful or convincing or anything, like he usually would do when he's passionate about a topic. And then Pam Bondi overrode what the president was saying and kept saying what she wanted to say. You know what I
Okay.
mean? It's kind of like Trump had to say what he had to say because there have been tapes leaked of uh, high military Israeli ranking people that are being threatened that if they don't go along with the plan, their families are gonna get it, kind of thing. So, but Trump didn't sound like, oh, come on, you guys. You know how he is very forceful, and I'm not
Yep.
defending him, but we've seen Trump when he's angry and he means something.
Yeah.
It's like, and here he was like,
You seen
what?
him?
We're still talking about that creep. And then, and I believe that was staged because I believe that Pam Bondi would have shut up because she's not a stupid woman. But I believe that Trump wanted to do what he felt he had to do. And Pam Bondi is the scapegoat, which is why he defended her so much, because she's kind of saying the complete opposite that everybody else is saying.
Yeah, I mean, you seen how
What I mean, Ron, is like, for example, okay, you're going to do that and I'm going to do this because then I fulfill my part of the contract.
yeah.
And hey,
Okay.
you're your own person. Talk your own crap.
Yeah. I think that this is all going to end horribly.
It's terrible. It's terrible because
I don't
you
get,
know
but
what?
Paula, listen, I am like, there's a lot of people who are like, look, he's playing 4D chess, he's doing something behind the scenes. But look,
Yeah.
do you know
I
what?
don't believe
I'm
that. I don't
happy.
believe that. I don't believe that.
Yeah, but look, I'm happy to give them a 1% of likelihood. Do you know what I'm saying? We've got to have a little bit of hope, Paula, right? I would love to see Trump completely ninja this and fix the whole world by exposing everybody. But it's not going to happen. We know that. We've got to have a little bit of hope on this because
Yeah,
I don't
but
want to
I
live
don't
in a.
know. I don't know. It's just that, he ran on these things and he's supposed to be different. I remember I got a lot of flack on my channel because I was actually quite hopeful that, he was not a politician in nature, because I worked in politics my life, right? Hi, Bonquickie. But I worked in politics, so I know how crooked they are. So in that sense, I was glad because, he was just calling everybody off. You, Hillary Clinton, you're a crook. And, when she's talking to him about the taxes, and then he says, yes, I know I use that because your friends use those tax breaks too, if you wanted to change, if you don't want people like me and your friends to use those tax breaks, you could change the laws. And of course, Hillary Clinton will never do that. So that was like, damn, and then when he's saying he's going to make the Epstein thing live, he ran on that. He said that he was going to make the JFK thing public, the Mr. King case public, and we're still waiting.
Yeah.
And now we get a shady video with
super
completely
shady.
edited. And now there's no list. That was a hoax.
It's not
and now
even
they're
that.
focusing on the Russia hoax.
It's not even that the video. I mean, the editing in the video was minor. I mean, there was definitely edits, right? But it was the fact that the camera angle was the worst angle you could ever have for the point that you were trying to prove. Oh, here's footage of outside Epstein's cell where you couldn't even see the full entrance to his cell. You couldn't see anything. And it just seems crazy to me that if you're an employee, Paula, of any prison, right? The one thing you're going to have some invested interest in knowing if everything is working is going to be the security, is going to be the camera system, right? That's your lifeline. That's what keeps you safe.
Yeah, I want to show you something here because this is the clip, and I did a video about this because then I showed this clip because even I could do a better job of that,
Okay.
Let me see, it's here. I don't know if you can show.
And Ron, while she's doing that, I did send you the video and the timestamp.
Sorry,
And
I don't know how to silence
it's
this.
totally fine
one
up
second,
until
Paula.
when you feel like stopping. There's no censorship that needs to occur.
Okay, and where did you send it to me?
I sent it on the Discord chat, side chat of our voice.
Okay.
Oh, I thought that was my video.
No.
I'm like, I don't remember that. I'm pausing it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't have any links posted from you at all.
Do you want me to send it to you directly?
Yeah, DM me, yeah.
All right.
Sorry, Paul.
I had this video and it's just like a minute clip. I sent it to you before. But it's like, if you look, people say that the editing is 3 minutes, but if you look, you will see the video that I'm sharing with you right now.
Yeah.
If you see this here, I think, let me see.
Is this where it shifts?
No, you'll see here something pops up from 11:24. You will see. Just pay close attention here, because you will see this little menu.
Oh yeah.
From 11:24 p.m. until and I keep fast forwarding it, for people to see, so you can see the timestamp and everything,
Yeah.
But that thing, and that disappears like the minute before that, and even the focus of the camera changes. But this started at 11:24, 16.
Yeah, it's
I'll
frustrating.
show you here, because I mean, it keeps going like that because I wanted people to see when it disappears, like, and sorry.
I will be honest with you, right?
But look at this one. It disappears, Ron. And this is 11:49. And this is 11:50. We have 11:58. Where, let's see if I can move it a little bit more along. And
Yeah.
then there, 58. You're gonna see it disappear when it hits the minute mark.
Okay.
There, see?
Go.
And
Yeah,
even the focus of the camera disappears. So it started from 11:24. I told you, I sent you this thing. It started from 11:24. That little menu that they couldn't clip appeared there. So it's not 3 minutes. Because it's that, I don't understand why people are not showing that more. If you go to 11:24 p.m. and start from there, you will see that little, because they try to like cut it, or I don't know, it looks like an Adobe menu.
Okay.
And if you go from directly
I seen
the 10-hour footage, and you start at 11:24, 10 seconds.
No, yeah, I know. I know the bit you're talking about. So what's your take on what the menu is? Like what are you guessing?
I think that a lot can happen in half an hour, Ron.
Yeah, a hell of a lot can happen.
A lot can happen in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that the most secure, and we have Mr. Francisi,
Yeah.
who said he was in that jail block,
Yeah.
that's impossible for you to off yourself.
Right. Yep.
I know, but I have to counteract that, because
Yeah,
Michael Franzese, he tells a lot of stories. I watch him on a regular basis. I love him, don't get me wrong. And a lot of things he says is really credible, but he also says a lot of things that are really off the wall.
Okay. Well, I mean, here's the thing though. This prison that if Michael Franzese was here, we know that Epstein was, and just to have this is the best, because you got to understand, like where that desk is in the background, right? There's a set of stairs that go up there, and right in front of the desk is where the entrance would be to where the cells are that Epstein was housed. So why is there no camera like behind the desk where the workers are? Why is there no cameras? The camera that's,
and everybody's been asking that question ever since this has been released.
it makes no
It's
sense.
the same question.
It makes no sense. Like,
it's like, why were the cameras turned off in the lobby of the World Trade Centers, both of them, on 9/11? And why did Building 5 come down, but not these 1700s mom and pop restaurants that are half a block away?
Yeah, so it's a case.
Princess Diana's just a trip over, from whatchamacallit, from the Ritz to the tunnel, but then the camera outside the tunnel is working.
They should be investing money into the CCTV bandit. It sounds like the CCTV bandit just goes around and turns off cameras just at the right time, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yin Yang, you get better UFO footage.
Right. Right.
Well, and the more and more that these things occur, the more and more people are asking questions, whether you live in a town with 10 people in it or in a giant city of 100,000 people. People are asking more questions. And we can even look at the Mario case right now on his videos and how things don't add up and things like that. And how did the CCTV catch it over here, but not this camera over here that would have had a face on shot of him killing the CEO, or I'm sorry, unaliving the United Healthcare CEO. And there's just more and more questions and not any answers.
It is actually quite brutal because another thing that really, I am actually going to do a video on Andrew Mellon, and I'm going to show all the Instagram messages that him
Uh-huh.
sent me and the WhatsApp messages that him and I showed, because I think people should know who Andrew Mellon is and why. And I believe, this is just my opinion, that the reason why there were no charges filed against this man is because it was Charles' coronation too soon, and they didn't want
Yep.
that kind of scandal
Yep.
before
That's a great point.
he was crowned, because
Yep.
that would have been what, the number fourth
Yeah.
man who's unfriendly to children.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
You know,
That'll be a good video.
no, we should. But I want you in that video with me.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll 100% come and join you.
And when are we gonna do that video about Andrew Mellon? Because you see, guys, people think that these are isolated incidents, but they're not.
I don't know.
But they're not.
It's their culture.
This has been going on for years.
Yeah. You got to
For like
understand.
50, 60 years, if not more.
Oh, this has been going on for thousands, for as long as people have been in power, as long as since hierarchies became hierarchies, evil high up elites have been preying on vulnerable individuals. Whether we look at the first form of human transportation, when wars would take place and then trophies were taken after those wars, people were enslaved and brought back. That was version 1.
You know what I think it is, Ron?
Self-fulfilling.
At least for me, I can't speak for anybody else, and this is just my opinion. You know why this is not sitting well with me? It's because I had such hopes that somebody who's not a politician was really going to expose, and this is his only shot because he's no longer going to run for president. So I really thought, okay, Trump is going to come and just going to blow everything out of the water. This is why I put up with a lot of abuse on my channel. I was called a MAGA. I'm not a MAGA person, like I am a little bit of a socialist actually. But it was that when you see so much swamp, and I'm gonna ask, I don't know how many of you are parents or you have uncles or nieces or whatever, but what if one of your nieces or children were the ones who were a victim of Jeffrey Epstein? And what is really baffling to me is the silence of the other victims that are not come forward, because it wasn't only Virginia Roberts. And one of the things that really struck, and I was thinking about doing a video about it, because I saw Megyn Kelly, who's a very big YouTuber, basically say that Virginia Roberts was a liar, and she kind of framed it as though Virginia Roberts was the only accuser.
Right. Yeah.
Well, there was
reason, and she can't defend herself. She kind of did, because she said she wrongly accused Dershowitz. I mean, I am sorry if I made a mistake in one of the names of the people who were unwillingly putting themselves on me. I mean, if there's so many that that I don't get the names right, once in a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes you say DNA instead of NDA. It happens.
Yeah. No, but when you're a victim of that kind of abuse, for example, in my case, when I can't tell you how many times I was beaten up by my ex-husband. I can't tell you the exact dates when he did this and that, but I know it happened. In fact, when I was going through the trial with in Norway, and my son was called to testify, my son started talking about things he had seen that I thought I'd forgotten about it, or I blocked it. But when I heard my son say those things, I started crying, because it's like it came back to me. I don't know if I blocked it. I don't know why the hell, and then I felt so embarrassed that my son witnessed that, and so does that make me a liar? No, I just probably didn't want to remember that, or I don't know, or maybe that was so many of the other times I was beaten up. I don't know,
Well, I mean, another theory, right, is there is a client list, and Trump's covering it up now because it's far more useful to him after he's no longer a president than it is.
But that's shady. The whole point.
Oh yeah, that's super shady.
Children, if it was your child, would you be saying?
Well, if I can interrupt you for a second, I'm sorry.
Yeah. On you go, Missy.
There is the one gal, and I forget her name. She's got the long brown hair, very tall, very slender. She came out and did a video interview, but she is afraid. And so her whereabouts aren't and everything like that. And it's the only one she's done.
That's usually how it goes.
I can find that, Paula. I will find that and I will send it to you.
Yeah.
That'll be like a mission for the day.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember her name. I'm sorry, but
right.
she did, and she is afraid for her life as well as her family's, because now they have moved on. They have families. They have children.
Well, look,
so I think a lot of them are silenced because of that fear.
I agree. That's further Epstein victims that Misty's pointing out there. But Bonquiqui, I have literally just been sitting here waiting to interject with this, because I got to be honest. If it was anyone else other than Trump, I would have probably said, well, has he got a wife and kids? Yes, he does. Well, then he'll do as is told. Because in the criminal, triangle, the hierarchy, they'll just threaten Trump's loved ones and Trump will just do as he's told. So if we want to go down that road too, I could fully invest in Trump loves his wife and children and would hate to see something happen to them. Because we're not talking about the cartels. We're not talking about like freaking Al Qaeda or ISIS back in the day. We're talking about, the government, the global powers that run the world, and they will just delete people. So that I could totally buy in to Trump got told. I can buy into that 100%. Does it make it right? No. Will we probably find out on Trump's deathbed? Probably.
I want to see if I can find this, because this is a clip that I show, and this is I actually showcased it on my channel, and this is a reporter caught on a hot mic. Okay, I don't know if you want, I can share. This is she didn't know she was off air, right? She thought she was off camera, right? I'm sharing that with you, Ron, so you can show it.
Thank you. Sorry, 1 second. There we go.
I'm gonna mute myself so you don't hear any.
For 3 years, I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the plane. So she told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. I had it all 3 years ago. So do I think he was killed? 100%. Yes, I do. Because he made his whole living blackmailing people. Yeah.
Damn, this is crazy.
There were a lot of men.
That's a pretty old video. That one's been out for a long time.
Yeah, it's just when you see it all back though, like it's it has one impact when you see it before Epstein's case. It's got another impact after the Epstein case, and now it's got a whole new one after all of this is being swept under the ground. Women like her will be declared as lunatics and crazy and conspiracy theorists. Virginia unalived. That sends a pretty good message to every single other person who may wish to speak out that the most famous person in the world connected to the royal scandal and this case can suddenly be unalived, and the whole world will just eat it up with a spoon. And
I'm sending this clip to you, so maybe you can use it because actually this was a huge story, but after the fact. I'm sending it to you in the private chat, sweetie, so you can just clip it in. And this made big stories because this is what happens even with us YouTubers. Like it's like we sit on stories and we do talk about them. We're conspiracy theorists, and then you have the mainstream media who actually had the story, and they're being told by the palace, and they're being told by everybody to shut up.
I think Paula's a conspiracy theorist.
Shut the hell up.
Let's watch this.
Interest in whether serial pedophile Jeffrey Epstein killed himself in prison or whether he was offed by somebody who wanted him dead. A lot of people may fall into that category, given the number of high-profile people who partied with and may have partaken in his obsession with underage girls who say that they were sex slaves in his bizarre world. Then this video surfaces from Project Veritas in which ABC anchor Amy Robach says that ABC, quote, quashed her exclusive with Epstein accuser Virginia Giuffre, who said that she was forced to have sex with Prince Andrew when she was 17. Fox News is not able to independently verify this following video.
I've had the story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton, we had everything. Do I think he was killed? 100%.
Wow.
Yes, I do. Because he made his whole living blackmailing people. There were a lot of men in those planes, a lot of men who visited that island, a lot of powerful men who came into that apartment.
ABC and Robach released statements today, essentially saying that the story wasn't ready for air. She said that, and they said that as well, not fully vetted. ABC has still not run, all these years later, and he's dead now, the original Robach-Giuffre interview. Let's bring in Jesse Waters, host of Waters World and co-host of The Five. Jesse, what do you think about all this?
It's a sickening and wicked scandal. And
who does that guy look like? Put it aside, chat. Who does that guy look like? He looks like somebody else. Who does that guy look like?
And ABC News has to hire an independent investigator to get to the bottom of this. And they have to answer one big question. How many children were raped in the last 3 years since they spiked this story? Because, as Amy says, she had witnesses, she had victims, she had photographic evidence with a Bill Clinton connection and a British royal family connection. And ABC News said that that did not meet their editorial standards. What are those standards? I want them to come clean because they went after Brett Kavanaugh with 40-year-old hearsay, with no corroborating witnesses, no evidence. And a lot of that was furnished by Michael Avenatti, a scoundrel, a bankrupt tax cheat, who brought forth gang rape allegations with no evidence. So what were those standards that allowed that to get on air? I'd like to know. And it looks like the play was, we don't get access to royal family interviews on GMA.
Yeah.
Please. And you're not going to go protect children who are allegedly being sexually assaulted by God knows who and God knows where. And this is the Disney company. The Disney company. It's sick.
Yeah, I mean, and the suggestion that nobody knew who Jeffrey Epstein was. I mean, I don't know who these people are,
right,
but Jeffrey Epstein was, linked to many powerful people for years. I mean, he wouldn't be a household name necessarily, but that the executives at ABC in New York City had no idea who he was, I find very difficult to believe. I mean, it also smacks of a lot of similarities of what we saw with the Weinstein story.
Right.
And I think that these institutions, these corporations need to ask themselves, who are we and what are we when this story comes to us and we don't air it? I mean, Virginia Roberts, that story on what she had alone, the pictures she had of her and her story. How many stories do you see on ABC and NBC and everywhere where it's just, this is her story. This is what she says. You can back it up. You can investigate the other side of the story and say that we can't corroborate this. There's a lot of ways to get at a story like that. And as you rightly point out, none of those hoops were jumped through with the Brett Kavanaugh story.
No, and ABC just got in big trouble for putting on fake Syrian war footage. Instead, it was a gun range in Kentucky. That doesn't look good. But also, this isn't being mentioned, but Hillary Clinton 3 years ago was in the midst of a presidential campaign. And if ABC drops a devastating blow against her husband in the midst of this campaign, that's going to blow back big on ABC News. Remember, they thought Hillary was going to win the White House, and they didn't want to jeopardize that relationship. They wanted to be on the right side of history. Now they're on the wrong side of history, and it's a tragedy if this is true.
Yeah, I mean, it also starts to raise those questions again. We've had sort of 3 different data points this week of people raising questions about whether or not Jeffrey Epstein took his own life. And when you go back and you look at this and you look at the people and, some of the names that you mentioned who, we know were on the plane and went to the island. We have no, there's no evidence about, none of these women have said that they were with Bill Clinton, but it's, part of the story that he was on that plane. Absolutely. So it raises questions about whether or not somebody had him killed. Michael Baden went on, and he is, full disclosure, he's doing work for Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Say that again. Where you go, Paula?
No, it's because, we can't play too much of it.
Yeah.
I was going to say. But it was important
Go
for
into
people.
the Tucker one right now, because this is all taking place at the same time. These stories are taking place at the exact same time.
Yeah, I've got the Tucker one lined up here as well. So how far into this do you want me to start? We'll miss the intro.
Let's not forget that we can't play too much of it, okay? Because
yeah, you're all good. You're all good. With news stuff, you've got a little bit more lenient, shall we say? With news,
2:30.
2:30. Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Yep, that's where Tucker starts to get real.
Okay. So is this is the segment where Tucker's
the
talking?
Tucker apology? Yep.
And
it's funny, it's ironic, but it's true.
But what's the apology? Isn't the footage of Kash Patel, the Kash Patel comment then, no?
Yes, this is
Okay.
Benny Johnson. I found it being covered under Benny Johnson, so this hasn't been taken down.
All right, okay.
So
Nice
that's
one.
cool.
All right, let's check it out.
For myself, I never thought that I would be offering an apology to Jeffrey Epstein. I think of all the times I've maligned that guy, all the times I've accused him of crimes, of blackmailing people, of trafficking children to powerful figures around the world on behalf of global intel services. And then I learned yesterday from Attorney General Pam Bondi, that's totally untrue.
Yes, yeah.
The guy killed himself after 30 days, 36 days in prison for no reason. He was a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
He had no clients. He'd done nothing wrong other than get like naughty massages 20 years before. And the guy killed himself, another pointless death. And then his best friend, former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, doing 20 years in prison for no crime. There are no victims.
Yes, it's a victimless crime. They're obviously persecuted by the state.
Yes.
They're political prisoners, really. It's The Hague should come in and do an investigation, or we're watching one of the most systematic government cover-ups of all time.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Tucker Carlson, of course. The reason why we listen so closely is because he's done some of the most profound reporting on this. Interviewed Mark Epstein, interviewed the Bureau of Prisons and the people who did the autopsy and so on of Jeffrey Epstein. Nobody has actually.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy.
Yeah, do you see Kash Patel right there speaking out of his own mouth? It's a victimless crime, and they're political prisoners. So why is Ghislaine Maxwell locked up?
That's not Kash Patel.
What do you mean that's not Kash Patel?
That's not Kash Patel. Kash Patel is the leader of the current top-ranked member of the FBI.
Oh, no, that's not Kash Patel. No, that's a guy who actually used to work with Tucker Carlson and Fox News, but then everybody thought he was crazy because he went on his own, right? And he said,
"Wait, what?"
Yeah, no, that's not Kash Patel. This is Kash Patel right here.
No, that's not Kash Patel. That's a reporter that what's his name used to work with.
This is Kash Patel. The other guy was just a reporter. That's right, Missy. We all make mistakes.
I thought he shaved.
But I mean,
well, either way, it's legitimate. The question Tucker Carlson, it doesn't really matter. The question Tucker Carlson is asking is, yes, then I'm so sorry to Jeffrey Epstein for making him a bad guy when he wasn't, since he's innocent.
No.
But he was just joking, like he was saying, oh my God,
Yeah.
he was just joking.
Exactly.
Clearly, like it wasn't ironic.
A 20-year sentence, right? And now it turns out that there was no victims. Like,
I'm sorry, Kash Patel does not look honest. Looks scared, and I mean that thing that he
Kash
did.
Patel is the only individual in the history of all of the letter agencies to just hop on to a off mainstream media platform like Joe Rogan's and talk about current cases that are going on. It doesn't happen. It's never happened.
Is there a red thing from a red bracelet from the faith that faith that has the red bracelet?
But that's not a red bracelet. That's a red and yellow bracelet. So
Okay.
the one you're thinking of, it tends to just be a thin strip of red.
Yeah.
I think this is judging by the way judging by the way that his tie isn't centered, and the fact that he is holding up a hand with a friendship bracelet on. I imagine this adds to his quirky, relatable, down to earth image. So.
No, but to me,
we can definitely take this back to James O'Keefe with the undercover as well, where Pam Bondi's sitting there having lunch, and then the next day, hundreds and tens of thousands of hours with children, and then now it's nothing but he's a disgusting individual with his own private collection of CP. And there's no victims.
Yeah.
There's no list.
Hey, there's no victims. No list, no victims. Remember that, man.
Why aren't they calling all the women? Why aren't they calling all the women? And you know
fear.
what?
It's fear, Paula. Fear.
I understand, but and I think that they did that to Virginia Roberts to scare the other victims off. Because I think that Virginia Roberts would have immediately come out.
Do you know how do you remember when I said to you, this feels like they were backed into a corner, right? Over the list being put, like the announcement of the list, all of this stuff. I wonder if Virginia had a list of survivors, and I wonder if there was something big about to happen behind the scenes, and that's why she got vaporized, why the list got vaporized, and why history is now being rewritten. Because logically, Ghislaine Maxwell is technically could be seen as somebody who needs to be freed from prison. And not by me, not by anyone who's got a brain, but if there was no victims.
Who did she unwillingly travel? Because apparently this man, and now the girls were legal age, because I even heard arguments. I swear to you, I heard arguments. I think it was on Megyn Kelly, where people say, well, some girls, in the United States, they have 16 as legal age, and there's one even 13 that's legal age. I mean, they were making excuses, but I was shocked to hear Megyn Kelly almost claim that Virginia Roberts was the only one, and because she lied about Alan Dershowitz. And I'm like, okay, so she got one guy wrong, then she's wrong about everything else. It's like, and Virginia Roberts admitted to it, and she apologized. I'm sorry. But then, you know what? I don't believe that. I believe that she was intimidated by Alan Dershowitz. Let's not forget that Alan Dershowitz got him that sweetheart deal. And I wonder if Megyn Kelly
I agree with you, Paula.
And I wonder if Megyn Kelly would be able to stake the lives of her children on Alan Dershowitz's innocence.
There's huge speculation as well that it is the royal family that has come and did the unaliving.
Who?
That the royal family, that it is the royal family that did the unaliving of Virginia.
Could have been.
I don't know. I
think a lot of speculation.
I think it's more than that. I don't even think this goes beyond the royal family. I think this is, guys, I remember in my line of work, one time I met this guy who came in his own plane, and he was surrounded when he came to the United Nations building. This guy was wearing flip-flops, shirt and jeans. I've never seen this guy, never heard of him. He was surrounded by so many he had 3 planes. 2 were bodyguards and one was his plane. And he went to a meeting, like the reverence this guy was treated with. He was a Rothschild. Okay. And I remember thinking, who the hell is this guy? And my coworkers looked at me and it goes, you don't want to mess with that man. This man owns the UN. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And he walked in the building. He, in the UN, you have to go through, I don't know if it's still like that, but at least when I worked there, you have to go through metal detectors and stuff like that, right? He didn't even, nothing. I mean, this guy walked in like he was the president of the United States of America, and the deference that this guy was shown, wearing flip-flops and the jeans and and the shirt. So there's a lot of people that we don't know about. I think that we have the public figures, and this is why we have to attack the public figures. We have to expose the public figures, because if we attack or expose the public figures, then they have to look for others. Like, for example, people, like, because they have stuff like that. Why did they sit on Diddy's video?
So yeah, so what you're saying is it's not just the surface level names in cases like Diddy and Epstein. It's the wider web.
You don't know the names of the real people, guys.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I mean, you have public figures, and the public figures do their dirty work publicly, and they, but once they get too public, it's like Khashoggi, or even Max, what's him call it? Ghislaine Maxwell's father. When they get too public, they get too
Mr. Maxwell.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Then they end up, but the real people with the real power, you don't know their names. You really don't. So the royal family must know. You have people like Bill Gates. What was Bill Gates? What was the Dalai Lama doing hanging around Epstein's house in New York? The Dalai Lama was a frequent visitor. Oh,
you know exactly why.
It's all under the pretense of donations. But why does he have to travel? He could have just wired the money.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Well, but it also makes him look good when you have somebody like the Dalai Lama, who is considered revered. But in today's culture, we don't really revere anybody since the entire scandal with the Catholic priests and witnesses in Scientology and all of it.
Literally all of the scandals, all of the religions.
I just recently found out that Dalai Lama had been to Jeffrey's house.
Yeah.
Because a witness
listen.
talking about it, and this is a reporter.
Let's be honest, right? And I'm not defending the Dalai Lama, right? But really, I can't see the Dalai Lama picking up the phone and calling Epstein. I imagine that there was some. I imagine. Nah, probably not. It's probably in wrong as well. Probably.
Well, there has to be a place to put the money. When you got that much money, there has to be a way to funnel some of the money. So what do? You funnel it over through to someplace, which, hey, we'd like to make a significant donation to your cause because of this reason. And then they make the promise, but never actually send the money. That a lot of famous people do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pledge. They pledge it, but they never send it.
Pledge. Thank you.
Yeah. But the thing is, all you have to do is follow money. And I can guarantee you that everything that you will see, guys, Blackstone owns the world.
BlackRock,
sorry. I don't know.
That was like such a freaking like crazy ant moment. Hey, Sheila, you heard about this Blackstone? It's taking over the world.
If you look at this, BlackRock owns the world. I did a video. Okay, something so stupid like Prince Harry giving a 30-second speech at the Navy SEAL thing. And I linked who he was endorsing, which is a little no newspaper. And then this thing is linked to this other thing. And I mean, I remember we did that. Probably you don't remember. We did that video where I literally linked it all the way to BlackRock. Because BlackRock is everywhere. BlackRock is massive. It's into, it's into everything.
Yep. Someone's just asked in the side chat, why is it called BlackRock? I'm going to hit you with exactly why it's called BlackRock in a minute, and it's going to kind of blow your minds. So, you need to give me a minute. I need to just pull up my research on this. All right. So just give me a minute.
Charles KLG says, I've seen that BlackRock is actually a rock over the ice wall.
No, wait. Just let Ron back for a minute.
I'm
Just
just reading what the
talk about something else for a minute, and then Ron will segue us back into this.
This is what I'm saying. Like, and it is terrible what we're witnessing, and people now it's like this. There's a victimless crime. There's no victims. So why is Ghislaine there? And this is why Ghislaine boldly saying, "I want to come to Congress and I want to spill it all."
Yes, she's fighting to go to Congress right now. She wants to tell her story.
Yeah.
She wants to exonerate herself and try to not name names, I think.
Well, I think
because that black her list has been sealed by the state, because you can go into Pacer in the United States, as you very well know, you can go into Pacer and look up the case. It's federal court, so there are no cameras allowed. A lot of people ask the question, why aren't there cameras? Why can't we watch the case? But it's a federal court. So there's no cameras allowed in any federal courts at any federal level. And Diddy case, Epstein case, Ghislaine case, no, OJ was civil, so that was not federal, so there were cameras.
If you look at it,
go ahead.
For example, it's all with the WF.
All right, we're segueing back into this now. So
yeah, here we go.
So basically, on the planet Saturn, okay, on the planet Saturn, there is this huge black cube, right? And it's called the black cube of Saturn, right? The planet Saturn, the planet Saturn.
The planet.
Right? You get a big mad telescope, and you pure look at it, and you're like, mate, there's a cube there. So you've got, and obviously Saturn, right? Awfully close to Satan. You know what I'm saying? So BlackROQ, you'll see these black cubes in every single major financial district all around the world. You can see them all listed here. And BlackROQ has been linked to this black cube cult that originated. I can't remember where it originates, but it all delves into this cube on Saturn. And that's basically my 2 cents on this, right? It's the Saturn cube that is the BlackROQ, is the black cubes, is listed all around the world in these financial districts. And it's kind of weird, right? It is like the Borg, Bailey. I hadn't thought about that. Assimilation.
Right? But this is only the newest theory. I mean, we had the Bilderberg group, we had the Rothschilds. I mean,
no, this is directly because of the company that's called BlackROQ, and their logo is a cube, and all of these districts and places around the world have these odd black cubes in the financial districts and all of this thing. It's really weird. Oh, if what you're talking about is the BlackROQ brand is the latest thing, and before that it was this,
correct.
Then
so like this.
Then yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah, I want to show you this thing. And guys, I can guarantee you have not heard of this name. Okay. I'm showing an article. Okay, this is Prince Andrew reported to police over a fake name used to set up private investments company, right? This was published in January 7, 2025. And then you have, because he uses a name called Inverness, Andrew Inverness, because that's one of his titles. Yep. And he joined forces with sports retail tycoon Johan Elias.
Okay.
This name, I'm sure not very many people have heard, to set up a company called Naples Gold Limited. Johan Elias is one of those names that you don't hear, but you will see everywhere with the royal family. That's him.
Okay. All right. Looks a bit sketch.
Andrew has been in recent years. This is them at Ascot. And I can guarantee you that people don't know who he is. You didn't know Johan Elias?
Yeah, I don't know. Of course not. I barely know who any of these people are. But
yeah, and he is billionaires. And he is. I mean, he's all over the royal family. He's proper billionaire. I mean, he's into. Yeah, I think he's Swedish. And then
Which, safe to mention, Switzerland has just joined
no, he's Swedish.
NATO.
From
So
Sweden.
I find that very interesting.
No, he's from Sweden, not Swedish, not Switzerland. He's Swedish, from Sweden.
Oh yeah, Swedish. 2 different countries. Yeah. I need more coffee.
So the thing is that it's people who don't know about this. People don't know about this. They don't know that the king's brother has this company. He was reported to the police this January. I've actually spoken about this in my channel about 2 years ago when I was because people wrongly assume that the king's brother was with Jeffrey Epstein in Thailand. And it wasn't. He was with Johan Elias. But Johan Elias was there at the same time as Ghislaine and Epstein, and they all partied together, clearly.
Yeah, I agree. Like there's too many coincidences. Like with like if you go through life and you've got a few different jobs you do or whatever, you're going to interact with a couple of weirdos at least, right? Maybe even some of you may be unlucky enough to have a friend who turns out to be a monster, right? But if you have 6 or 7 friends, 8 or 9 friends, or if there's this web that connects you to multiple individuals like that, people have got to start asking questions. They really, really do. Can I just totally segue for a second? In fact, well, wait another 10 minutes. I'll spend the last 10 minutes of the show on this, but
I want to show you something about Johan Elias, just very quickly.
Yeah. Of course, go for it.
Because
that was the ball.
Actually, okay, and this has always to do with indigenous people, right? And let's not forget the Baka people, and everything. Newspaper published a retraction, front page, and apology to Johan Elias regarding false claim of illegal deforestation associated with his company, Gethel. The original report falsely linked Elias to the deforestation, but it was later clarified that the alleged breaches concerned non-compliance of reporting requirements by Gethel under previous ownership, not illegal deforestation by Elias or Gethel. The Brazilian Institute of Environment, it's like, can you imagine? Nobody knows what this guy is, but he gets a front page apology everywhere.
Yeah, that's wild. So
that's kind of almost like Jeffrey Epstein. Nobody knew who he was. Where'd he come from? He just out of the blue. Who's this millionaire?
And then he gets positive PR. Pay indigenous people to protect rainforest conservation group. This is unbelievable, guys. This is how they operate. You didn't know who Johan Elias is. Who goes a lot under the radar? Ron Urkel.
Well, it's even that Johan. He's the sort of individual that I would imagine would be behind individuals like Epstein. He's the next run up. You know what I mean? Epstein's the equivalent of like a trap house for the elites. He's the party boy. Well, anyway, listen, have we got any other points you want to throw in about Epstein before I move on to something else I want to talk about?
I'm just saying that people should Epstein was just the front page, and the thing is that Epstein was doing okay until he became too visible, and until he messed with the wrong girl, because he was messing with girls that were like poor, but then he messed with the wrong girl who had a good family, who didn't have the issues like Virginia Roberts, and that's when he got exposed, and that's when he got that sweetheart deal, and that's how they exposed themselves when they got that sweetheart deal. That sent everybody. But the funny thing is, all of these elites kept talking to him. Who married, the woman who married Håkon, the crown prince of Norway, married one of Epstein's girls. She used to fly to New York, Mette-Marit of Norway. So if you think that this is just in the United States, you're wrong, because Norway is an incredibly
this is global, man.
Very rich. Norway is one of the richest countries with oil and everything.
Yeah, this is mega global. All right, so I want to jump on to a story that is from the UK just quickly. It's the case of this missing jogger, Rachel Booth. Now, the police are saying that they found a body. Now, it's police divers. Now, this lady looks an awfully lot like a lady who was found in a lake a few years ago.
Is that the
Like,
girl that exposed the video?
no, I don't know. I've just
You have
literally.
no, no. If you go lower, if you go a little bit lower on your no, go up again. No, go up again. Go up. Wait, show the young girl. You see that there's a video with a guy hugging a girl, a woman, and you see that girl. Doesn't
Yeah.
she look like her?
Yeah, no, that is actually this girl, who is the girl that filmed the people who were cheating at the Coldplay concert.
I've been seeing. You know what a stupid idiot.
Oh God! I mean, the hand on the boob is damning. Okay,
No, you
damning.
know what? And you know what? I did a live with who did I do a live with? George, the Giant Slayer, and you know what he said that opened my eyes a little bit. He said not very many people would know that they're there. So what if there was a setup? Because in the CEO corporate world, somebody must have known that they were there.
Oh yeah, 100%. I just want to say as well, she is buff. Like she is buff. This lady, and big shout out to all the buff ladies out there. So let me just circle back to this because I'm pretty sure a few years ago there was another lady with blonde hair that YouTubers were being arrested for trying to interfere with the police investigation. And
I think I know what you're trying to reference. I remember this.
I'm pretty sure it was put down to like, oh yes, she fell in the river. Right? Like, do you know how much of a bad day we're talking like Final Destination stuff when a fully grown female who is jogging a little bit of fitness, Nicola Bully, that's it. Hang on a minute, let me pull that up. Just falls into it. Now, it would need to be something pretty spectacular to cause you to drown in a river, like a little river. Like not some mad rapid scenario. Yeah, I mean, look at this. So this is Nicola Bully, the lady that also tragically passed away. Like, I'm not a criminal profiler or anything like that, right? But there seems to be some consistencies here. So it's just odd. It's just super odd. It really is. Like, I'm sorry, but how are you falling in there and having an accident, Paula?
Well, it's called you're pushed, your head is put in there, or you're drugged,
Oh,
or
yeah,
whatever.
no, I don't mean how could I successfully unalive you in the water. I mean, if you're just walking your dog, it always confuses me, and it was the same with the Nicola.
There's like a huge list of these scenarios as well, Ron, just to support where you're going with this. Like on July 19th, a 24-year-old woman died after being pulled from the American River in Carmichael, California.
This is
May
this
26th,
is all. Yeah, this
drowned in the Sacramento River.
Yeah, this is
June
the
30th.
This is
another
the
woman who
this,
is
this is in the this is in the UK. This is in the UK. So yeah, America has got the same MOs as well. There's a whole bunch of weirdness that goes on with canals and rivers in the UK. We had a huge conspiracy about young gay men being led to a canal and then pushed in. And it's the same in America as well. Now that I think about it, maybe someone's just getting on a plane. I don't know.
We have something that's happening across the mid-state region where young college-age boys are ending up dead in the river.
Yeah.
And it's been going on for years.
Yeah.
And years. And there's a hypothesis that it's a truck driver. But boys still end up in the river dead all the time and in different rivers.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about sober women walking their dog. Look, I mean, I'm sorry. This is like some Isaac Cappy fell off the bridge madness. Like, that's apparently the river that Nicola Bulley passed away in. Like, what, mate? What? For a start, do you know how much effort you need to make to even get to the water? Do you see what I'm saying? So for me, it's all so odd. It's tragic. Here's a shot as well of where the body that's been found whilst in the search for Rachel's body. Like, I'm not being funny. If you fell in the water and you started screaming, like, surely someone's going to hear that, right? Maybe not. I don't know. It's so sad. It really is.
Well, and what is there, an instant cliff? Like, there's the edge of the land and it's just an instant cliff of like...
No, nothing. There's no instant cliff. It's
20, 30 feet? Exactly. So
yeah.
you'd trip into the water, you'd fall down maybe. But it doesn't even look like there's much walkable area there at all, except for that little point that you have your mouse pointer over.
Yeah, global serial unaliving cult. It's thousands of years old. I can believe that. I can get on board with something like that for sure. Also, on the subject of that, is anyone watching the new series of Dexter? If you're not,
I am.
You definitely should be. It's
no, you
freaking
should watch
awesome.
Mobland. You should watch Mobland.
I've watched all of it. Right, I watched all of it.
It's only got like seven episodes.
No. Is there more episodes? Nah. I swear to God, if I'm about to discover that I've not completed the whole series of Moblands, this is the best day ever. I surely have. I'm pretty sure I watched all of them, and then it came to an end, and I was like, "Oh, that's a cool ending." Nobody give away any spoilers. Right, hang on. Moblands.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you exactly what every episode is right now.
Wait, no, don't.
Just kidding.
Okay. Right, Paramount. It's on, right? Yeah. Yeah, Mobland trending. I swear to God.
You can buy it on Apple TV too.
I've finished it all. The last episode was uploaded 20 days ago. Yeah, I finished the whole. I watched the whole thing in a day. Right, like I was gripped by this series. As soon as it went on, I was like, yes. It was so good.
I have to say I'm with you on that. Mobland is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good. Well, listen, everybody. We've got about 10 minutes left. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you follow Paula. Her links are in the description. We will be back every day, 2:00 UK time, to talk about some world events and some bits and bobs and see what is going on. What happens with Conrad at the end, Ron? What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Oh, he wants to know what happens at the end of Mobland.
Oh, I'm not telling you.
Right? Watch it.
That's so weird. Just as you asked what happens with Conrad, somebody on my WhatsApp called Conrad just messaged me. That was weird.
Who's that?
It was just a coincidental messaging. But look, I need to go and get a coffee. I need to get some food because my brain is just, it's not doing, Ron is not running today. We will be running tomorrow, but last night's sleep was not the one. So I just want to say thank you to all for being here. Remember, Sean will be live later on this evening.
I'm late. Now I know what time it is. We're going to see each other on Wednesday, right? I'm going to be on time.
Yeah, Wednesday. Yeah. 100%. Now,
sorry for that, guys.
That's okay. I'll send you the link tomorrow as well. If you're free tomorrow, we can start the show off as well. But we'll see what you're up to. Now, look,
I just want to know if you guys have heard about the latest thing with Pam Bondi, that now apparently she's requesting permission to release the files of the grand jury files.
Okay, what does that mean?
well, that apparently she wants to release those grand jury files and how they indicted, Epstein. But I
Okay.
mean, what you know what they have to do is release the flight logs, because the ones I have are from 2015, and my video that got taken down had all the names, and that's why my video got taken down, right?
Yeah.
And then why don't just release the flight logs? Don't say anything else with all the names until 2019, until
Those
Jeffrey Epstein was arrested. You don't have to release anything else.
Yeah, I'm with you.
those flight logs are on CIA, Stargate, as well as WikiLeaks. They're out there.
Yeah, a friend of mine's got a bunch of stuff, and she's going to send it over. And there's some stuff that she shouldn't have that she does have. So I'm very interested to see what all that is. Bon Quiqui, I am currently editing everything right now. In fact, I'm going to go on. Hang on a second. Sarah is messaging. 1 sec.
I see it, Paula, right now. It's all over the news. Trump ordering Bondi to release grand jury transcripts, but that's just the transcripts, and how much of that will be redacted, how much of that will be blacked out.
Yeah. There we go. Oh no, that's 2 days ago.
No, but that's not what it said. It's all over the news. But just release the bloody flight logs. That's it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, look, everybody, thank you all for being here. I'm going to set up a room on Discord. I don't know if it's already been set up or not. For anybody that's got timestamps from the paranormal investigation, so that we can start sifting through bits that you think you see or hear stuff. I would really appreciate the help. Thank you to Misty for coming and joining us on Discord. Thank you for being here, Misty. And of course, to the wonderful Paula M. Thank you for being here too. A little bit late, but better late than never. And thank you to the mods. Thank you to the Sean Atwood channel. Thank you to all of you at home. We will see you again tomorrow at 2:00. And thank you all for just being awesome. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace.
Bye-bye, guys.